bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
G'day guys, and welcome back to Millionaire by 50. In today's video we're going to be having a look at the next step of Scott Pape's master plan, which is dominoing your debts. Now, when we talk about debts, we've already kind of touched on this a little bit already, or in particular, the circle of debt that a lot of people can find themselves in. So if you want to check that out, go over to our Robert Kiyosaki videos as we talk about it a little bit there. But for this video, we're going to be talking about what we can do to try and get our slate clean and to start from just ground zero when it comes to this financial journey. Okay, now before we touch into that and before we go over to our Barefoot date night, I want to talk just a little bit about the democratization of knowledge that has probably contributed a little bit to where we are now financially.
Knowledge.
So if we look at history, we can very, very clearly see that information was historically hoarded by the church. Then it evolved with the printing press and we had newspapers coming out. All of a sudden people were getting information from somebody that wasn't the church, right? Then we had the natural evolution to radio. From radio we had the evolution to video, and then from video we have the internet. So nowadays, when we want to learn about something, we can just whip out our phone, go onto Google, and like the answer is going to be like there within like 10 seconds, right? Unfortunately, our parents and our grandparents didn't have access to such technology, right? So when it come to learning about finance, they had to hope that somebody else in their family was financially savvy. If they were, great. If they weren't, then the only person they had to learn about money from was really from advertisements that the banks were putting on television. Now you fast forward to nowadays, the modern day, and you have a look at the effect that this has basically had on society, where we've got credit cards are being, normalized and sort of pushed forward, even to the point where banks are selling credit cards to like 8-year-olds, right? You've got loans being advertised as the easy sort of way to get what you want now. And I guess the keywords there are get what you want, not exactly what you need. You don't need a $45,000 car, right? You probably want it, but a $4,000 car is going to get you from A to B just as easily. So this is the type of stuff that Robert Kiyosaki really touched on as being a huge problem for society in the modern age. Scott Pape does touch on it a little bit about in his book. So in today's video, we're going to pop on over now to our Barefoot date night and have a bit of a look at what Dr. Pape would prescribe to remedy this situation. I'll catch you all there. All right guys, welcome back to our Barefoot date night. So we have a wonderful meal in store for us tonight. I'm sure, hope that you guys do as well. And touching on the topic of debt, I know it's a little bit uncomfortable, kind of like seeing me in a bathing suit. But just like my father on Friday nights with a bottle of whiskey, we're gonna get through it. Waiter, please. Fantastic, let's see what we have. Beautiful. I'll have a succulent Chinese meal.
Get your hand off my penis!
So while we're waiting on our food, let's talk a little bit about the steps that Scott Pape has to get you over any sort of debt or financial hurdles that you currently have. Now, again, we did sort of talk about this with our Robert Kiyosaki videos, but as I said in them, Scott Pape is a lot more of an action-oriented guy, which is fantastic. So these 5 steps should help you get on top of your debt. It's certainly helped me. Let's go into them. So the first step is to calculate all of your debt. Now this includes any money that you owe your mates, could be 50 bucks for a slab, it could be anything like that. So money you owe your mates, money you owe the banks, money on your credit cards. Those are the type of debts that you're calculating. We're not calculating HEX today, and we're not calculating like your mortgage as part of your debts yet. Okay, so if you have HEX debt for going to university, or if you have a mortgage, let's put them to like the sides for now. Okay, we're only focusing on the sort of smaller debts. Now, in the topic of credit cards, that's where step 2 comes in. So step 2 is where we negotiate our debts. Now, if you have a credit card at the moment, Scott Pape recommends that you give a call through to your financial institution and start the negotiations. But I'll leave that up to you. That's step 2, which is negotiating. And again, disclaimer, Scott Pape has an amazing script written in his book for that particular situation, so definitely go out and pick it up. The third step is to eliminate your debts. Now this is again to do specifically with credit cards. So you've called up your bank you've got them to lower your interest rate on your card, or you've committed a balance transfer, right? Chances are they might send you a new credit card in the mail. The first thing that you're going to do is cut this credit card up and post it on the Barefoot Investor Facebook page. You might think, oh, that's tacky, I'm going to skip that, but this is really important psychologically. It is you taking back your financial future, so it is important. CJ, leave my shirts alone! As I say, you want to really follow this step. So if you get your credit card sent out in the mail, cut it up. 2 reasons. It's powerful psychologically. You're taking back your financial future. And the second reason, you can't use a credit card that's cut up, right? So you're preventing yourself. It's kind of like putting some water next to your table after a big night out, right? Your future self is going to love you for it. The 4th step is then to detonate your debts. So like we've eliminated them, but we're going to blow them up now to make double sure, okay? And when we reach this step, we should essentially have paid off our credit cards. Our credit cards should be no more. They should no longer be an issue. So what we're going to do now is the remaining debts that we have, so debts owing to mates, loans for vehicles and stuff like that, we're going to put them in order of lowest debt to highest debt. You're going to pay the lowest ones off first. Again, psychologically that's powerful because you're already starting to get ahead, and then you're going to start paying off your higher ones. Like dominoes, hence why domino your debts. Who would have known? So the last step is to celebrate, and again this is extremely important. Psychologically speaking, you need to take accountability for when you've done a really cool thing, and getting rid of your debts is a super cool thing. So if you have paid off all of your debts, Scott Pape recommends that you have a bill burning ceremony. Obviously just be careful with the seasons if you're in Australia, because fire burns. Well, that's all for today's video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you were able to take something from it. If you were, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check us out in the socials, as we've got some conversations going on over there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you all next week for our next video.
That's the time!
Bye!